gonna tell you something. I'm Star-Lord. I formed the Guardians. Met a girl, fell in love. That girl died, but then she came back. Came back a total dick.
Oh, please. He left out some important information, but that is the gist of it.
Welcome to Australia, mate. This ain't funny.
The mother of all nightmares is on the loose.
I don't think I can do it.
I mean, it'll be difficult.
Very.
Well, this is not mission difficult, Mr. Hunt. It's mission impossible. Difficult should be a walk in the park for you.
You really think you've won? This code you live by is about family. It's the very reason you weren't even in the game. Damn. Breathe with me. Breathe. Somebody do something! I got a tank on my ass!
This Organized Chaos podcast is brought to you by listeners like you. Thank you. Hello and welcome to another Organized Chaos podcast, the very best podcast in the history of all existence. As always, joined by Bobby. How you doing, Bobby?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well.
I'm a little emotionally damaged from one of the movies this week.
Yeah, I know.
But
well, Mission Impossible 2 will do that to you.
It was quite traumatizing.
Emotional roller coaster.
I mean, that much slow-mo Tom Cruise, and sometimes it's not Tom Cruise, and I'm brave enough to take on the rest of the series, but I don't know if I could handle any more heartbreak after 2.
Yeah, 2 was rough. It's emotional. But yeah, that's not the only thing we're covering. We'll also be covering Fast and Furious 6. And if time allows, maybe we can talk a minute or two about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And I want to stress that if time allows.
Yeah, Letterman's pretty strict about his time slots, so we're gonna see what we can do.
Yeah, we're gonna try. I would love to talk about with you guys, but listen, we gotta prioritize Mission Impossible and Fast and Furious, okay?
Yeah, we have to get those out because deadlines.
Yeah. But yes,
because we have a new sponsor here, and he is just quite the prick.
Yeah.
See, our boss Tucker is the Tuckster is.
Oh God. I was thinking maybe our boss is Tom Cruise.
I'm just kidding.
Shit.
No, I'm just kidding. No, that would never happen.
No. But I guess there was nothing that happened in the news today or this week.
There's
nothing. Everything's fine with the writers. There's nothing of note going on. It's all good.
There's no film sets being disrupted.
Yeah,
there's productions.
There's literally nothing going on. Well, actually, there's. I'm sure they're still filming stuff, but like from a most basic standpoint of script level, nothing's happening there because there's a writer's strike. Essentially, well, I mean, you remember when this happened 15 years ago? This was
absolutely.
Stuff shut down, and it kind of staggered how you saw the effects. Because initially, you're not going to see any effect in movies pretty much for at least a year.
No, you will in TV immediately.
Yeah. Late night shows are immediate. Saturday Night Live's pretty fucking fast too. You're gonna get.
And they've already canceled. They already canceled last Saturday's show, right? The one with Pete Davidson.
Probably.
Yeah, I know that it was announced and then it was shortly canceled.
Unless they had everything written before, Tuesday or whatever it was, yeah.
No, I know that I also read with this that not that this is of any importance, but MTV's awards, Drew Barrymore backed out in solidarity of the hosts or of all the writers, which fucking good on her.
Yeah, absolutely.
And both of those award shows now are going to go back to being pre-recorded, like pre-taped.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're not even going to do live production for it.
Yeah, that seemed me.
And I just think, man, yeah, that's some cut cost, or they are definitely trying to pinch some pennies at Paramount right now and Viacom.
Yeah, and then after shows like that, next thing you're really going to start seeing an impact on is just TV shows. TV shows have a bit longer production schedule, but not massive. And then movies are pretty much the last thing in line to get hit.
Yeah.
But if this goes on for a couple months, we're going to see serious impact. Like, there's a possibility they get resolved in a month and we don't really see an impact, except for, like, the stuff that gets early hit. But if it goes on for a while, I think the last one was 4 months. It was something like that. It goes on like that, we definitely saw a hit in the movies. I think Transformers 2 is one of the more famous movies credited with the writer's strike. But yeah, we need another Transformer movie with racist robots. That's what I say. No. No.
That's right.
Yeah, no.
How did I forget about that?
Yeah, no. Transformers 2 was bad. And there's actually good things that can come from the strike that have nothing to do with what might likely be some bad movies. That is, people who are working hard, who actually need, like, decent pay, who are getting screwed over by these corporations. And, they just need to make a living.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There it is. For the most part, it very much is their creative vision that the director and actors bring to life. Like, I mean, in just the sense of that dynamic and storytelling and visual art. Like, yeah, I'm kind of all for the writers on this.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm all for the writers. Production studios, like, think about how many times you see a name of, like, produced by. Like, how many people are on that? And it's like, how many of those people actually had anything to do with the actual story? Like, the idea or anything of it other than just backing. Like, I've always kind of felt like they didn't really do anything. Why do they have a title credit?
Yeah.
Like, I don't care if they funded it or anything like that. I'm just...
Anyways, the quote I was trying to think of was from a movie called Stay in Maine, a David Mamet movie. But the quote was, "What you give your secretary instead of a raise is an executive producer credit." But yeah, frequently you have people like executive producers who are just kind of there. It doesn't really mean too much. They may not even be on set. But their names get listed way before the writers, and writers are much later. And to my understanding, that's not even something writers are asking for, even though they're a huge part of why the story even exists.
Yeah, I think it was just more of my own rant about it.
Yeah, no, but essentially what the type thing they're asking for is, they want a writer's room on these productions, which I get. They want more pay, obviously. They don't want AI involved, obviously.
No, that's the other thing that I am completely for, because if I could get on a soapbox just for a minute.
Sure.
About this. I've kind of had an issue with this ever since that fake AI art started, like, years ago, and then people saying, how this is going to be a game changer. I go, no, what it's going to do is going to put a lot of deserving people out of work and obsolete. That is not right. And someone can use the argument, oh no, it's only going to, like, improve art. A human is still no.
I don't see how it can improve art. It's literally just based on what humans do. It's learning.
I can gain more from a canvas with paint on it than I can anything that's like, this is what it would look like if blah 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 was XYZ or whatever. Like, yeah, whatever. I don't care. It's stupid. I don't care for it. It's dumb. I can get more from a painting, just some, like, acrylic paint on a canvas. Somebody's sculpting something out of clay. Like, somebody who took the time, the energy and the passion just to create something out of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have such a far more respect for that, and like the time and energy it goes into that, than just a few keystrokes.
Yeah, well,
Like,
that's the thing. AI art,
nothing will ever. Yeah.
AI art, AI writing, stuff like that. Number one, I will admit there is a fun aspect to it. Just kind of like, oh, what will it come up with? But it's like, would I call it good? Would I call it quality? Was it anything remotely as creative as what a human could come up with? No. At best, it's a fun little gimmick thing. It is not like, and I think one of the biggest things to stress with AI is that it can't take everything and then make something better. It can only take everything and make something worse. That's all it can do. It's not a replacement for a human being at all. And there's some things obviously electronic systems are better at, and this art is it's not going to be one of them. There's something emotional about art that you can't program that into a computer. And I'm coming from you with an engineering perspective here. You cannot program that shit. That's just not it. It's not a 1 or a 0.
No. And it's an argument I have against with like sequence music, like strictly using sequencers and programs, and like just pretty much Pro Tools. Sure, yeah, you could create a perfect time signature song written in that golden key that everyone universally likes and everything. And sure, it'll sound great. People would like it, but you know what it wouldn't have? That one element that makes, songs by a group of artists or a group of musicians, if you will, better. And that's just that one thing of human variable, and that's just imperfection.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll hit just a slight sour note, but that sour note isn't a bad note. I mean, as long as the next note they hit is a good note. But that's a whole other thing of music theory. But what the point of it is just that little thing of human imperfection that makes music created like that. That, in my opinion.
No, I can't tell you the number of times I've been working on a video and there'll be something that happens and it's a mess up. And 9 times out of 10, I just fix it. And then every once in a while, I look at it and go, that actually works. The thing that just fucking randomly fucking happened that I wasn't planning on happening fucking works. You're not going to get that from a machine. You're not. It's just... Yeah, so AI, obviously... I think it's a fun toy to play with, but it's not a replacement for a human being ever, in my opinion.
No. The one time I've seen it used that I thought was really great was that these guys programmed it with a bunch of like mid or like late 90s wrestling programs. So like whatever WCW and WWF was up to, but if they both went head to head in that exact moment of late 1998. When both were like at their peak of popularity. I mean, ideally, looking back, man, both companies would have made out like bandits. But, and actually, and the whole show that they built around, I mean, it was pretty good. I can't remember the exact, but that'd be me getting into non-related stuff. But in like fantasy building AI, like matchmaking for that aspect, yes, I thought that use of AI was good. But that's the only good thing I've seen from it.
Yeah. Like if you want the soulless, emotionless take of something, I guess AI is fine. But like if you actually want a human art, that's only comes from a human being. Period. So yeah, AI. Like I said, it's a fun toy, but no. And at the end of the day, when we're looking at these writers, Adam Conover has a great bit on CNN if you want to look it up. I also cover it in my last video, little self-promotion. Yeah, essentially what he said was 10,000 members of the Writers Guild of America want to get paid the same amount cumulative that David Zaslav gets paid. That seems unbelievably reasonable to me. Like...
Yeah.
Well, the only unreasonable thing in that statement is that David Zaslav's obviously making way too much. But yeah. So yeah, I am 100% in support of the writers here. Not shocking at all. I'm pretty union, and yeah, yeah, and you've probably seen my other video where I talk about supporting them. But yeah, go writers. I hope they get everything they demand. I'm sure
That's
they will.
actually how I
do.
first knew you were on the level, man. That's how I first knew you were on the level. When we talked about unions back in the days of working at the college.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean,
you were
well, it's one
quite
of those things.
pro-union back then, as was I.
It's one of those things where like lots of people are like, "Well, unions can be corrupt." It's like, yeah, I'm not for union corruption. You can be against union corruption and still pro-union. Corruption is just an element that gets into bad unions, and that's bad. But just because, like, you don't throw out the baby with the bathwater just because some unions have corruption, it doesn't mean the whole system's fucked. People still need, still need community bargaining power. And
that's also probably why there is no kitchen workers union, because of the corruption. Because it would be there if in any union the back of house won.
Yeah. But yeah, go writers.
Yes, go writers.
Are we ready to get into the first movie?
Yeah, let's dive into it.
Oh wait, I have Guardians listed first. This is supposed to be like the time. Oh, okay, I guess we should go ahead and give a couple moments on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, I love this movie.
Wow. Fuck. Like, this was I have to say probably the best villain we've seen in the MCU by far. Like, man, he was evil, and damn, couldn't wait for his demise any.
Oh well, yeah, definitely.
Could not come any quicker. We knew this going in. This would be about Rocket, and I'm happy none of them died. I thought for sure.
Spoilers.
We're gonna lose one. None of them died.
Yeah, no one dies. But yeah, it's.
And also, much like the Guardians, they got bigger by the end of the film too.
Well, I think
more joined the cause.
I mean, you're brought up nobody dies, but like I want to stress, like if you're going into the movie like, oh god, I wonder who's gonna die, you're going into it with the wrong mindset. This movie is a fucking experience.
It is.
It is a goddamn roller coaster. In a lot of ways, I feel like this movie kind of mixes some of the best aspects of 1 and 2, where like 1 was quick to like. My biggest issue of 2 was that it kind of drags in the beginning, but like when it starts hitting it hits you hard. I feel like this one is kind of like 1 where it picks up pretty quickly, but it's also like 2 where it's hitting hard. The whole story with Rocket, the backstory with him and his friends. We learned so much about Rocket, and Rocket is probably my favorite Guardian after this movie, because holy shit, he's been through some shit. And I just love that James Gunn is able to take what is essentially a comedic character and just put so much heart and emotion and thought into this goofy little raccoon and make you genuinely care about him.
Fucking goddamn James Gunn had me crying over a fucking raccoon.
Yes. And those goofy little friends he had, the fucking...
Yeah.
What was it? Lola, Teeths, or Tooths, maybe? And Floor.
Teeths and Floor, yeah.
Yeah, just goofy little characters that were experiments with Rocket. They all look very silly. And god damn it, he had tears over those characters. Each and every fucking one. Oh my god. Again, I was talking about how it mixes like a lot of the best elements of the first one and the second one. Well, what I loved about the second one was themes, and boy oh boy does the third one have themes. I would say, like, obviously the most overriding theme is that you are not defined by other people, you define yourself. Because throughout this movie, obviously we're dealing with Rocket and his creator, but we also deal a lot with Peter. And Peter is like committed to the idea that Gamora, Gamora made him who he is. He needs to get back with Gamora, because that's part of the story. He starts working with Gamora from 2014, Yeah, it was 2014 Gamora,
Yeah.
before she had met him. And he is like fucking trying to be like, hey, you used to love me. Don't you think you could love me again?
Yeah.
And it is so goddamn cringe. But yeah, it's obviously he's hurting. He's not in a good place. And he needs to figure out how to, like, just
we also
be himself.
still see that he's still hitting the sauce pretty hard, because even in the Christmas special, he was hitting the sauce pretty hard, and even like a Kevin Bacon visit didn't cheer him up.
Yeah.
So like it's for real, and you saw how pissed he got when Rocket was holding that Zune.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean, Rocket loves the Zune though too.
Yeah, I loved every scene of him just listening to the tunes and just sitting along and enjoying it.
No, well, I love that, like, James Gunn thought of, like, oh, that he's going to have this mixtape with this music his mom loves, and he's going to use that as, like, the emotional core throughout all these movies, and it fucking works so well. And it makes it so that every time, like, in most time in a sci-fi movie, you'd be like, why are we listening to, like, a modern, or a 70s rock song? This doesn't fit. But, like, they all fit so well in these movies. It's amazing.
Yeah.
He does a great job of selling it. I love the fact that Peter and Gamora don't end up together, because it would have felt like such a cheap if they do. Essentially, Gamora kind of grows and becomes a bit more like the Gamora we knew before. But yeah, there's no relationship between her and Peter, because honestly, Peter doesn't need that. He needs to figure himself out, which is part of what he does in this movie. And I love the fact they address his grandfather, because Peter was upset because, his grandfather kicked him out of the room after his mother died. And it's like, the Guardians are kind of like, maybe you should talk to him. He's like, he kicked me out. He didn't care about me. It's like, are you thinking about this? We're dealing with a man who had just lost his daughter. Yes, you'd lost your mother, but he had also lost his daughter. This is a man that doesn't know exactly what to do in this situation, and he's probably doing what he thinks is best. And you're willing to...
It's saving you.
Yeah.
It's saving you from this,
For all we know, he's putting you in there, and then he's going to go into that room and just turn into a blubbering mass of tears. Because, fuck. Yeah. I mean, it's...
Yeah.
So I love that they bring that back. And then you even think about the added aspect that, like, on that day, his grandfather didn't just lose a daughter, he ended up losing a grandson, too. It's like...
Yeah.
Dude, you need to visit him, man. Yeah.
Now,
go ahead.
Now, I didn't stay for both scenes. I know better, but I was with a group of people, and they were all...
Yeah.
So,
what were both? Oh, well, the first scene was just, did you see the New Guardians?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, that was probably the funnest scene. The second scene was just, Peter and his grandfather. I don't remember what they were doing, but they were complaining about something.
Okay.
But it was a nice scene. But yeah, I just love how every character gets to kind of define themselves in this movie and decide who they're gonna be. The Drax one kind of came out of nowhere, but like it fits like perfectly. It works really well. I love this movie. Is it my favorite in the trilogy? I don't know. The fact that I don't know tells me it was fucking good, because these are all three fucking good movies. Is it the best superhero movie trilogy ever, or comic book movie trilogy ever? I mean, you could probably put under both. And again, I'm probably gonna say I don't know, and the fact that I don't know means probably. I mean, what competes after this? This is, I don't know. It's so good. Let's see. You have a yeah. Like I said before, it was Captain America.
I
don't know.
I do want to say, I'm not going to get into that. I wanted to say one thing, that I really enjoyed this, but I probably will never watch it ever again.
Oh, really?
Or if I do, I didn't really care for a lot of the torture scenes.
Oh.
And I mean, that ain't right. I know no animals, but no, just like, I mean, I'll probably will, here, but It'd be a bit of a rough watch for me too, just because I don't really seeing that shit.
No. Well, dude,
and it more made me want to just watch like why I said earlier, like, man, I've never wanted to see a villain go quicker.
No,
like,
yeah.
I mean,
he's definitely one of the most despicable villains ever. Yeah,
absolutely, yeah.
No, like when we see his face at the end after, like, I assumed like Rocket tore up his face, but he kind of strapped it on. But
yeah,
no, his face was destroyed, and he just had a fake face over it. And we saw what Rocket did to his face, and all I could think was, "You got off light."
My man got off light. Yeah, my man got off light.
Yeah, you deserve so much worse.
You're lucky Rocket wasn't armed.
Yeah, just
you're lucky my man didn't have a piece with him.
Yeah, just yeah.
You wouldn't be standing.
Yeah, I think I don't know if I would say he's my favorite MCU villain, but I would definitely say he is my most hated MCU villain. He is just absolutely fucking vile and despicable. Yeah, God. Again, I love this movie. This was great. I guess anything you want to add, Bobby?
I had my point. We got disconnected.
Yeah.
Fuck animal torture.
True.
That's my
true.
point.
Well, it did make it so I was very happy when he died. And those last few years after Rocket injured him till the point he died, I hope he was suffering.
I hope they had to readjust that every day, and it was painful.
Yes, I hope. But what? Oh yeah, the next movie, Mission Impossible 2.
Oh, and from this point on, every movie sucks.
Nah, I enjoy the next one, but not this one. I will say every movie after this is dumb. Well, that's the thing. Actually, I wouldn't even know if I'd call Mission Impossible 2 dumb. It is to a degree.
The story itself,
yeah,
like
the story
threat and the bad
has
guy
potential.
is interesting.
Yeah,
some relevance.
Yeah, like the whole virus thing. It's like okay, but I'm gonna tell you this: like they start talking about the virus. You once you're infected with the virus, you get 20 hours before it's uncurable. And like once they said that, like right at the beginning, I'm literally waiting for somebody to get it so that way we can get this countdown clock started. And it does happen, but it's like fucking late in the movie. And I'm like,
yeah,
like I knew this was happening, guys. Why this delay? They definitely like. I feel like they play with the mask a lot in this movie. Like, a lot. There's a lot of, who's this? Oh, who's that? And, like,
I feel like for the effect that we're going to use it.
Yeah. And I feel like either, A, if you want to go that route, go all fucking in. Just, like, everybody's wearing a mask all the time. Just fucking all the time. Just go fucking ridiculous with it. Or, B, like, just try not to do it too often. And this movie just used it that bit too much. Yeah.
They just went to the well too many times. Like,
yeah, but like they're like when I say do it ridiculously, I mean you can't even so much so you aren't even taking it seriously anymore. And this movie is definitely trying to take itself seriously, which I think is part of its problem too. Like this is so like self-important, but also action schlocky dumbness. It just doesn't mix. It's like a movie that doesn't know what it is. But yeah, so we have Ethan Hunt, and the main villain being one of his doubles from MI, Mission Impossible Task Force, being played by Dougray Scott. Fun fact, he was the guy originally cast to play Wolverine, and the reason he didn't play Wolverine was because of this movie, so... Okay. But, yeah, literally the reason Hugh Jackman was cast was because of this movie. But I guess that's cool. That's the best thing to come from Mission Impossible 2, I think. What do you think?
Why do we have Hugh Jackman Wolverine?
Because Dougray Scott was originally supposed to play Wolverine, but he got cast in this movie, and he chose this movie over X-Men. So...
Who was he?
He was the villain.
Oh, that's the actor. Okay, I didn't know who he was. I've just seen him a lot, and I just go, "Oh, it's that evil English dude."
No, this is He's an actor that probably would have been known for Wolverine if he didn't pick this movie. So I guess we got Hugh Jackman Wolverine, so there's something good this movie did. I'm looking at the positives of this movie right now.
Yeah, and this movie also helped cement Limp Bizkit in notoriety.
Sure. Honestly, that's not even close to the worst part of this movie, although it does stand out for the time period.
There's also a few like interesting choices, like and maybe some edits or shots I wouldn't have personally done at certain points in the film. There's a point very early. I sent you a picture of it when I was watching it, and it's very early when he gets his first mission, and they're doing this close-up shot to show off those Oakleys, and right in the lens of the of the sunglass, you see the camera and the guy holding it just moving right past.
Yeah.
And it's like, you used CGI throughout this movie, and you didn't.
Yeah. Well, that's a funny thing.
Not go with that shot. I mean, yeah, sure, I get it. Show off the Oakleys. You got to sell the associated merch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's actually a funny thing, because like they have a scene almost exactly like the first one, where like Tom Cruise has to get lowered into an area and like do some secret mission. It's like feels like such a copy. Except in this one, it looks so goddamn fake. Like it's like the fakest thing you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah, some of the stuff like that, I could be like, oh, I could tell Tom didn't do that stunt.
Yeah, no, that's the other thing too. For somebody who became famous for doing his own stunts, there's lots of times where it's like, that doesn't look like Tom Cruise, like at all.
I mean, like at all.
Yeah,
like I could tell that's just some dude, and they just imposed his face, emoting on it.
Yeah,
like, that's a horrible render.
No,
Shame on you.
Listen, it's been a while since I've sat down and watched all these, but I do remember distinctly, like back in the day, this one just being the one that I just do not like, and I still don't like it. I think there's elements I'm fine with. Like I always am cool with seeing Ving Rhames, because Ving Rhames is awesome in my opinion.
Yeah. I agree. He rarely turns in a bad performance.
And then it's nice seeing Tandy Newton, because I feel like I don't see her that much. And I always thought she was a good actress. That's about it. Yeah.
Also, we have a brief appearance from Anthony Hopkins, and
Anthony Hopkins is always awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, he's always cool.
Oh yeah, and there was also the fourth guy on his team that like. He was just the guy who was there who flew the helicopter occasionally. Like, I couldn't tell you anything about him except he has an accent and apparently he's annoying.
He's Australian, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I felt like he'd be an actual character and I was expecting him to betray them at some point or something weird, but no. He's just there.
Just because the last guy was a helicopter pilot doesn't mean, that all helicopter pilots are going to betray you.
No, but I expect them, like, he's a member of the team. I expected there to be some sort of point to him. At what point do you just give Ving Rhames a helicopter license?
If you're going to betray anybody, would you want to betray the two sole survivors from the last team that tried to betray their team? Mm-hmm. Like, they're the sole survivors for a reason.
True. Well, that's also another funny thing, because, like, the first Mission Impossible movie, the reason why Ethan Hunt's kind of the main character is just because he's kind of the survivor. Like, there's all this shit going down and he got through it. And, he has his badass moments. For the most part, he's just kind of hanging on there by the I can't even think of it. But, like, he's just barely hanging on. There's so many moments where he's almost dead, but he's just barely getting through it. And then this one, he's just full-on badass action star. Just kicking ass and taking names. It's like, okay. I guess. Yeah, I just
climbing scene is still kind of cool.
Yeah,
I still think at some point watching it, going like, okay, I mean, I get it. Ethan Hunt's a badass, and we get it. Tom, you have a death wish.
It does go on a bit too long, but like there are some scenes where I wish that scene was like incorporated into the story more, because as it was just Ethan Hunt showing off. But like the way it's actually, I think that scene's very well done, because it does give a Vertigo sense almost watching that. It's probably one of the better moments in the movie.
I will say this, though. Star Trek did it better.
No, it didn't. No.
Yes, it did. By comparison, yes. Yes, it did.
No.
My
I will not stand with you on that.
My argument. Okay, no, bullshit. My argument. Yeah, sure, Anthony Hopkins. Yeah, but one had Spock, the other didn't.
Mm.
Yeah, no. Star Trek did it better.
I can't.
I enjoyed it more.
Oh well, if you want to go there, then yeah. Well, this one's just tough to watch. Like Star Trek V, I can kind of make fun of, even though it's pretty boring too. There's more to make fun of.
I could try to make.
Mm.
Yeah, this one it's just more of.
Yeah, this one. This one's just like. There's just not much to say about it. It's like here we have this badass story for a Mission Impossible story, and we're gonna kind of not do a great job with it. And
I remember this was in a movie theater by my childhood neighborhood, and we had a movie theater there that would have like the movies when they're about to go out of the theaters, like kind of real cheap, you know, the cheap movie theaters. And we went to go see this, and me and a buddy who both really loved the first one, and like we played the hell out of the video game, you know, on the 64. Both kind of walked out like that. Kind of sucked.
Yeah, no, it. Like, I remember when this came out, there was a lot of hype for it, because, like, oh, wow, they're finally doing a second Mission Impossible movie, and that first one was pretty cool. They did some cool stunts in it. This will surely be pretty fucking cool. And they hyped it up, they advertised it the right way, and then when you finally watched it, you just went, oh, ouch. I mean, there's a reason why there's 6 years between this and the next one. I think it's 6 years. Yeah, there's a little delay.
Notice this almost looks like a face here.
Yeah, I actually noticed that when you froze up one time.
Yeah, I did too. I was like, huh. Why am I just now noticing this?
But yeah, Mission Impossible 2. We'll see how we go as we go through. But like, I'm pretty sure this is the worst one.
I don't know. I think that I'm not going to give this my award for the worst one in the series just yet. I'm going to at least wait till we're on 4 before I start giving that award out. But this is a close contender. I mean, 1 is still like top tier. That's
One's pretty solid. Yeah, I enjoy 1 quite a bit.
Yeah, 1's solid all around, and that's just not because like, you know, I'm a De Palma fan. It has nothing to do with it.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, John
Woo's
Woo.
okay.
John Woo's
this
weird.
Is not his best work.
Yeah, no, like he has done
Not
some fucking
best
good
work.
movies. I mean, fucking Face Off. Face Off is fucking action schlock,
As
like
campy, it's
cuisine.
like silly as that dialogue is at sometimes. That movie is still fucking great.
I know.
It's fucking great.
There's so much like dumb shit in that movie that it just like the dumbness just kind of collides into itself and just becomes just fucking brilliant. It's like this
Like,
weird
they're-
collection of shit. Weird.
Hey, when hanging out with friends, there is a line from that I always use, and I always think it. And every so often I will, and somebody will just go, "Are you quoting that movie?"
Yeah.
I go, "Yeah." So I tell people, "Hey, you watch your fucking mouth." Try to emphasize it like Cage.
Yeah. Well, anything you want to add to Mission Impossible 2?
No.
Well, Fast and Furious 6. This is one I appreciate, but it's dumb as well.
Really dumb.
Oh yeah, no. Listen. When you have some Dwayne the Rock Johnson, well, that's the thing. Like, I appreciate this movie more because I feel like it knows what it is. Because when Dwayne the Rock Johnson goes to interrogate a witness and just immediately just starts literally throwing him all over the fucking room, I can't help but chuckle at that. Like, that room is
I'll
fucked.
admit, hey, genuinely laughed at that.
Yeah.
I genuinely laughed
Jesus,
at
like,
that.
damn. It's like,
I was like,
Sure.
There we are, Rock.
yeah.
Attaboy, Rock.
And it's not like it's a small guy he's throwing around, but he's just throwing around like he's paper. It's just like, okay.
Actually, I think watching it, my first reaction was like, "Oh, I've seen this. I know what's gonna happen."
Yeah.
Yes.
No, like for me,
Didn't
like
get
I'm
chair
watching.
involved, but he did kick his ass.
For me, it's like we have Hobbs, The Rock, and he's like, oh no, we have these super secret thieves who are like stealing top secret stuff in their fancy cars. So obviously, we need to get a group of street racers to stop them. So, yeah, because why wouldn't you? Like, I know if I'm a cop, I won't want anybody getting my back except illegal street racers. That's what I would want, right?
So wait, are we gonna be missing context when this new one comes out?
What do you mean? I mean,
like,
probably.
When are we going to see that? Like, okay, gosh.
We won't be all caught up. No, well, I wasn't gonna go through them all because I feel like the first 7 are kind of their own story, and then it just keeps on going.
Oh, okay. I just fear that like I'm going to be missing some crucial plot points.
Oh yeah.
Within 2 films.
Oh yeah, no, it won't make any sense. But
I saw the trailer.
There's something I want to stress. These movies don't really make a whole lot of sense to begin with. So
I've gathered that much. I've known this since 2.
Yeah.
I just so watching this, I did have a few moments where I just kind of started riffing it. Like I was trying.
Oh yeah,
I tried.
No,
and to be fair, I did try and watch it the night before, probably one of the busiest days of the year for my job. So I might have got 20 minutes in and going, yeah, no, I don't have the tolerance for this right now. I just and I might have watched it after.
Mm-hmm.
So there were points where I did fall asleep and wake up and go, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
So I did start riffing it after a while. When
this is dumb.
After a while, anytime Gal Gadot was on screen, I was just kind of going like, Wonder Woman. And I mean every time.
No.
Even right before she dies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was just maybe like, just a very fading away Wonder Woman. Oh, no.
Yeah, no, she has to go away so she can go into another franchise.
Yeah, they had to kill her off because she got a more sturdy paycheck at the time.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, like this one just I kind of like how they started splitting the team up and they were doing different things and different shits were happening and you know that adding to the excitement and padding pretty much. But I did like watching Brian go to prison.
Yeah,
that whole sequence was, and even with the person the whole time I'm going, is he going to see?
Yeah.
And they showed up and still, even then I was like, who the fuck is this guy?
Oh, that was the main villain in 4, the one that is so forgettable.
I might have had to IMDb it and went, oh right,
yeah.
What?
He's the main villain in 4, but not the one who killed Letty, who, by the way, isn't even dead. So, did they just kill a guy who? Okay.
Didn't he? I was like, didn't he die?
No, well, the guy who killed Letty died, but she's not dead, so I don't even know if that's proper statement. But the guy who killed Letty was the heavy for the main bad guy who was in prison.
Yeah, Mr. T Mohawk guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These movies are deep. They're thoughtful. They make you.
No, I thought like he died in some sort of like explosion or something.
I don't recall that. I thought they just arrested him. But yeah.
I don't know, man.
It's deep. And it's thoughtful.
Hurting, yes, deep hurting, yes.
No, we're definitely in this series of, well, like I think 5 and 6 are probably my favorite, but like these are, like it's like at this point where I really realized how dumb these movies are. These are like the dumbest things I've ever seen in my life, and I'm kind of on board with it because
I don't know, man. We haven't gotten into the Transformers series yet, so that has yet to be determined about it being the dumbest thing.
Well, listen, the dumbest thing that I can still find enjoyment in.
I could get plenty of enjoyment out of a guy in a giant rubber suit destroying a miniature. I don't care how many times I watch it.
Nah. I can.
But, I mean,
there's no enjoyment to be had in Transformers last night. I'm sorry.
I don't know, but I'm very excited for the Beast Wars segment that's coming up.
Yeah, no, Beast Wars should be fun.
Yeah, Beast Wars looks awesome.
But yeah, this is a dumb. I enjoy these movies. If you're gonna be like they're dumb, I agree.
For what they are, yeah, it's just dumb fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's silly fun.
No, like Vin Diesel is so fucking monoslavic in this movie. It's kind of ridiculous.
He's playing a part, and I've actually seen him act, and he's good.
Yeah, no, he can totally be decent, but that's not what he does in these movies.
No, anyone that says that he's kind of bad, and I go like, really? It's like, really? You think he's bad? Like, he'll never work with anyone great. Really? Spielberg directed him, and that was long before any of these Fast and Furious movies.
Yeah.
Spielberg thought he was good enough.
Yeah. Have you seen... I know it's voice work, but fucking Iron Giant, man. Shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I believe that's how he got the part of Groot.
I'm sure it didn't hurt him.
Played a part.
Yeah.
I'm sure it didn't hurt the resume, yeah.
But yeah, God, what is even the story of this? Yeah, they're after these. Oh yeah, Shaw? It's not Deckard Shaw. It's the guy who was before Owen Shaw. Owen Shaw is this the whole big time.
I'm just because as soon as they said Shaw, I remembered, and I'll admit I got a little excited because that's right, Jason Statham. Mm-hmm. Fuck yeah! Whole time disappointed. I just go. Anytime, Jason, that'd be nice if he could just show up and, Jason Statham in this movie, make it actually watchable for me.
Well, I mean, you had to wait for the mid-credit scene.
I found it. And
yeah, he's barely in it. Well, I remember when I first watched it, I was like, oh shit, he killed Han, holy shit!
Yeah.
Spoiler
we
for
see Han yet again.
10-year
Well, we
movie.
still see... Yeah, but we also get to see Han in this next 10 installment.
Yes, because like Letty, he didn't actually die. I think Gal Gadot might be the only character that has ever died in these movies. Oh, I can't hear you.
No, I just said Wonder Woman.
Yeah, she's maybe now that she's not Wonder Woman anymore, maybe they'll bring her back briefly or something.
I don't know, man. That's a whole can of worms. DC is its own can of worms right now.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it plays out. I mean, dude, after Guardians 3, I am excited to see what James Gunn does. But yes.
Too, but I read something about him defending Pratt or talking about Pratt recently.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah,
Oh no! It's more of the role that he is saying that he would definitely love to put him as.
Oh, yeah, we'll see.
That
I don't know if I like that, but again, we'll see. I mean, honestly,
I don't know. I don't like that.
This is
I don't like that.
I kind of give Gunn credit because even though I really dislike that casting, motherfucker turned Peacemaker into a series, and I was not prepared to like that.
Well, I'm more just say how much he's saying Matt Reeves is going to be his own thing, and they'll do their own thing. Okay, well why don't you just let Matt take the Batman helm for a while and
I can see an argument
another
there.
Batman out there.
Yeah.
And, because I'm sorry, even James Gunn himself said it's a great movie. That was great.
Mm-hmm.
He enjoyed it. So, why don't you just let him have Batman and not cast Chris Pratt as Bruce Wayne Batman, for the love of fuck.
Mm-hmm. we'll have to see. But yeah. I feel like we're off the beaten path for Fast and Furious 6. But I don't know if there's anything else to add. This is a dumb movie.
Not really.
If you like dumb movies... I wanted to bring up Owen Shaw and his dumb vehicles. Because, at the beginning, he has this dumbass fucking race car that can turn to a ramp. And it's that doesn't stick out. Yeah, sure. And then...
Not about that.
Yeah, and then at the end, he literally, well, not quite the end, the next to last action scene, he literally just has a tank. And it's like, sure, a race tank. Why not?
A tank with like a racing engine.
Yeah, that tank goes faster than the regular car because tanks do that. Tanks do that.
They do.
No, it's so dumb. I'm just there for the ride at that point. I'm just like, sure,
yeah,
fine. Racing tank.
Well, this is, yeah, this is some good dumb fun.
Mm-hmm.
It really is.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess I don't have too much more to add other than if a couple of illegal street racers going after some evil bad guys excites you, then yeah, no, you know the Fast and Furious movies. They're dumb.
Yeah.
The Rock can't stop them, but we need street racers. They can stop them.
Mm-hmm. Because one of them used to be a cop.
Yes, that is the secret. But yeah, I can't think of anything else to really add. They're dumb. Let's see. So next week we have Furious 7 and Flashpoint Paradox, which I believe is on HBO Max, but if it's not, let me know. I can get that to you.
Okay.
And then, did you have your choice ready?
Yeah, I have it written down.
I don't know what our third movie's gonna be, so. Mystery.
Well, it's not there. I'm gonna have to get back to you on that one.
Oh shit. Well, tune in next week when you find out. Probably in the title.
Yes.
But yeah.
Wait.
Oh,
here it is. Here it is. I lied. The movie we will be watching next week is something from the early 90s. It is of the like street game genre. It is called Blood In, Blood Out.
Blood In, Blood Out. I've never heard of that. So I will find out next week, find out what I thought.
It's kind of an underappreciated and like overlooked in that genre of films.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like about a Latin street game.
Okay.
And East Los Santos, starting from the late 60s into the 80s.
Okay.
So it tells a
Sounds
story
like
about
fun.
3 teens. Yeah, some of it's a bit rough. Fair warning.
All right. Well, we will find out next week. So, everyone, have a good one.
Take care.
I'm not moving.
No.
It's a freeze frame. I could probably fix this in post.
Books, records, films, these things matter. Call me shallow. It's the fucking truth.